Hey guys, what's up?
Hey guys, welcome to the Spiritual Beings Podcast.
So what's up? This is Tata Lewis right now.
This is Leslie, and we're going to be touching a couple of topics today. We're so excited to be making this podcast and that we got some submissions from you guys, and it's something that you guys really want to hear about.
By the way, I'm going to be eating chicken lo mein throughout this podcast for all authentic purposes, for all raw, uncut, authentic purposes, which is what we always aim for.
Right. So this is like a podcast mukbang kind of thing going on here.
Right.
So yeah, guys, today
we actually want to make a mukbang pretty soon. We're gonna do it for sure.
Mexican food. I love Mexican food.
Right.
So today,
or Chinese or something.
Yeah, I like Chinese.
Well, I want to try to do an original mukbang, like maybe something someone hasn't done yet,
or Cuban
which
food?
is gonna be kind of hard. I'm pretty sure they've already done
a
Cuban
mukbang. Yeah, I think they
mukbang.
have done a Cuban food mukbang. But I guess
we could do like a Lunchable mukbang, like a little kid mukbang. I don't think I've seen those
like
yet.
Pretty random.
Well, by the time this is my podcast is released,
Applesauce.
maybe someone already does it now.
Right. Or maybe
I'm
you
just
just
kidding.
haven't seen it, or I don't know.
Right.
But yeah, guys. So the topic of today is pretty interesting. And it's something that
it's a very juicy topic.
And it's a very personal topic as well, because not only have people requested it, which means that it's a reoccurring thing in the community, but it happened to at least me personally. And so I think it's a great topic. So our topic today is actually going to be what to do if your padrino wrongs you. Can you start seeing yourself with another spiritual person, like another spiritual leader, and what to do in these matters. You're gonna feel lost. You're gonna probably not know what to do. You're not gonna have any guidance. What can you do? So I really think that in these circumstances, you could do a couple of things.
First of all, wait. Yeah. Hold on. I'm sorry.
So, this is a really extensive topic.
We can't just jump into it like that. Listen.
Choose lo mein.
First of all, what is a padrino? Right?
Right. Or madrina.
Right, exactly. That's why I brought this up. What I'm trying to say is, more speaking in general, I think this should be aimed as a spiritual mentor. Any spiritual mentor, male or female, that guides you or has a duty of guiding you.
Because they initiated you.
Right, exactly.
Into some sort of religion.
Right.
And so, to me, what a padrino or a madrina is usually an elder. Also, not an elder, but an elder in the sense that that person knows more than you. That doesn't precisely need to be that they're elder than you in age. So, to me, a madrina, un padrino, is somebody that has guidance, has knowledge, and they are basically taking us under their wing.
Right, and you have to take into consideration that, including in these ATR religions, African traditional religions, years don't always determine the volume of wisdom or knowledge someone could have, because there could be a lot of old washed up people that literally haven't learned anything until just last year. Correct. Or just got initiated last year, but it just so happened to be an old fart, with all due respect to my myotas. But we could definitely all agree there are a lot of people out there that are very old and could fit the best description of what a wise elder looks like, but in all honesty, they could know just as much as we know.
Right, so to me, an elder is just somebody that is more knowledgeable in the religion, not age-wise. In fact, just a fun fact, there's actually a Babalao in Cuba. He's a young boy. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys have seen it. If you put young Luis. Babalao, Luis, his name is actually Luis. That's so funny. If you guys look him up on YouTube, it's actually this Babalao, really knowledgeable, young kid, but he knows his shit, guys. Why? Because his family but he loves the religion, but they enforce that in his household. He goes to school, and when he comes home, he studies Ifa. He wakes up at 4 a.m. I mean, that's some crazy dedication. So that would be my elder. Although that person is younger than me, they know more than me in the religion. And so that's what we're referring to when it comes to elders. Somebody that is knowledgeable, can take us under their wings, can make us feel comfortable whenever we have a problem. Hey, padrino, madrina, hey, what do you think I can do? Can guide us in the best direction, and wants the best for us. That's also something that's really important. To not lose, to not lose that. You know, somebody that really wants the best for you, because it's pretty hard to find that out there. So now that we established what is a padrino, a madrina, let's move on to the next question. What can we do? I mean, so this person initiates you in the religion. They're so into you. You know, they're really all about you. They're like, yes, you're gonna get this help from me. The way you learn, everything, your life's gonna go better. You do this initiation, like your mano de orula, or whatever initiation or religion you're practicing. And time goes by, and that's it. They stop talking to you, or they do you wrong, or you don't have enough money, so they just stop helping you and talking to you. What to do in these situations?
I think the first thing we have to do is we need to, before we say what did I do to deserve my spiritual mentor abandoning me, we have to think and be humble and be real and say, is there anything I could have done that could have caused him or her to abandon me? Because
that's another thing.
A lot of times we look for problems in other people, but we are the last person to like ourselves to like really search in ourselves and be like, was there something I said? Was there something I did? You have to remember, a true shaman, a true spiritual mentor, someone that really is about their roots and spiritual things, a lot of things like moral and code of conduct and characters and very little things could play a huge role in the way they look at you, and if they're willing to keeping you in their life. You know what I mean? A lot of these people are very, including if your spiritual mentor has a lot of godchildren, or is, you know,
right, not
your typical like around the corner person that doesn't like see the day of light. I'm talking about a well-known spiritual mentor, someone that's very active in the community. It could take literally one thing done wrong for him to just cut, or her to cut you off and just continue on with the rest of his audience or her audience. You know, it's just a metaphor, like setting up an example for you guys.
Yeah, so that's also another good point to look at before pointing any fingers at them and thinking like, hey, wow, they just abandoned me. Let's take a step back and actually look at what we have done. Have we been good hijados and hijadas? Because it's also very important not only to be a good padrino and madrina, but to also be a good hijado and hijada to good godchildren to your padrinos and madrinas, because at the end of the day, they do deserve this respect, whether they do you wrong or not. I don't think it's okay to go out of line and disrespect them.
Also, you gotta ask yourself, and you gotta know in your head, you will not ever have a spiritual mentor unless maybe it's family, or you know, you're in a very special condition or case, or maybe health issues. Either way, I don't believe that you could have a spiritual mentor that is going to practice and work his roots or her roots for you for free or for dirt cheap. You have to think that, is there at any point in time that you kind of te pasaste, you kind of cross the line and not giving back and not showing gratitude and not saying, hey, you know what, you've been working off this from your heart, you never charged me nothing, I need to pay you this much, and I'm gonna give you this extra.
Or so I'm gonna bring this offering to
or I'm gonna bring this offering to this.
Bring you some
I
want
to do this. I know. I want to set up un tambor for your guardian angel.
That's a little bit more costly, but these are things that you can do. Yeah, there's levels, you know.
Right, like it's like I said, it's case by case. You got me.
Right, so that's a really good point as well. You know, like, what can you do for your padrino as well? And also when it comes to the price thing, I mean, at first, when with my encounters, I don't, expect my padrino or madrina to charge me for free. Why? Because maybe I haven't done enough work with them. Maybe they don't know me long enough, and they don't, you know, a lot of people could go around and giving their ache. It's actually in a signal that you shouldn't work for free.
Right.
You shouldn't do your things for free. Now, there's certain cases that there's signals that, hey, you know what, this person is coming with you for health.
Right.
This person needs to get help for free or a very low cost. But like I said, there's that's a different case. You know what I mean? But it is pretty tricky when it comes to like the whole pricing.
I feel this is a golden rule, and this is something I've learned, is that you can't guide yourself off price. At the end of the day,
yeah, exactly.
It's rolling the dice. The only way that this is not rolling the dice, and it could still be a risk, because some people's families, they're already like in the wrong steps, and they already got misguided by the you know, the godparents and the godparents. Like, some people are really lost in a dark loop of doing the wrong things. But you should be able to trust your family if they're in this religion. You get me? But it's still rolling the dice. But what I'm trying to say is, you can't guide yourself by a price. If it's free, it could still be super shitty and done wrong and with bad intentions.
In fact, that's sometimes how they get you.
Right, because you're like, hey, wow, this is that. Wow, yes. No, it's right what they said. If you really love this religion, you work from the heart, you do it for free. All the priests do it for free. Real priests back in the day, no. Nah. Also, another thing, if someone's super expensive, it doesn't mean that just because they're super expensive, they're 100% legit or they're super lit. It could just very well be another scammer or someone that doesn't know what they're doing. Now, this is the messed up part. There's a difference between scammers and then people who got taught by someone that doesn't know what they're doing, and they're innocently practicing things the wrong way or don't know what they're doing, but they're not scamming you purposely.
Right.
They're messing you up in the end, but it's not coming from a purpose.
It's something that they learned.
Yeah, it's
from
just
their spiritual.
And they think it's correct.
Right.
That's why it's so messed up, you know? And I could see why it's so hard and difficult for a lot of people to get initiated into these ATR religions, because there's a big lack of knowledge and there is a lot of commercial
right,
and a lot of scammers. Luckily, me and my wife, we've faced a lot of people, but at the end of the day, we have family in this religion. We have family from Cuba. We were born in Cuba, and I'm not saying that you could be born from Cuba and your family might not even know nothing about Santo, and you could still end up getting scammed. But our family in specific in Cuba is in the religion.
I also feel like with all the trials that we've had, you know, we never gave up faith.
Right.
And we figured out ways to still, you know, have that connection with our spirits, with our saints, and to never give up, because sometimes it is a test, you know, sometimes it really is a test from your santos, from your spirits, from your egums, like, okay, I'm gonna throw this curveball at you. Are you gonna survive? Are you gonna stop believing in me because of somebody else's will? To me, the answer is always no. But it is really difficult to speak for other people, because some other people might feel so lost when they get abandoned by their spiritual leader, by the person that they thought that was only, you know, that was there to guide them.
Right.
And so going back to the conversation, it's like, it's pretty discouraging. It's pretty discouraging. So
what to do? What do you do?
Right, so you got initiated.
You just got initiated.
You thought everything was going okay.
Some random shady shit happened, or you just finished a big ceremony. Whatever. Because, you know, sometimes usually I think when someone gets abandoned, and from all the people I've consulted and helped, their horror stories of being abandoned and all that stuff, sometimes I believe it mostly happens once there is a big ceremony conducted that maybe that godparent thinks that you're not going to need their help anymore, or you might have to go in a different direction and go to another tierra. Like, maybe you won't need any more things from Ifa. Maybe from there on out you only need Ocha things, and since they're only practicing Ifa and they're not actually good-hearted, they don't give a crap about being your godparent no more, because hey, from here on out, you're only going to Santo. You're only gonna be doing Ocha related ceremonies mainly. So really, you're not gonna be putting money in my pocket no more. You are now a disposable thing. Now all you are is a burden that I must continue to talk to and keep a relationship up to date with. And obviously, if you're not a good-hearted person, you won't want to keep up that relationship because you're in it for the goddamn coins.
Right. And I really feel like that's why, as hard as you try to choose a spiritual leader, you'll never know until you get lanzado, like until you just throw yourself in there, and then
it's a rolling the dice,
right? And then at the end, you might find out like, hey, so going back to what we were saying, like after you analyze the situation and you really told yourself, hey, I didn't do nothing wrong, right? I really didn't do anything. Right. What's going on now? Like, some people might feel scared. I never feel scared. Why? Because not only is my husband in the religion, I'm very secure. Like, even in the bad times that I have felt scared about things, or I never lose my faith. I never lose my faith, because why are the Santos gonna do anything bad to me? I mean, I haven't done anything.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's number one. Number one is don't start panicking and being scared for your safety and your good luck or bad luck, or thinking that you instantly have to go seek a consultation with somebody to get cleansed, or no. Because at the end of the day, if you have a belief in the Orishas, in the Santos, and you believe that they don't know, they're not just, they don't have justice, they don't have fairness, and you really believe that even if you haven't done anything wrong at all, that they're still going to strike you down just because someone doesn't like you, then I think you need to really do more research and really find out what Orishas are and how they operate and how they work, and how it's a big karma-based system,
I agree.
And that's why you can't be scared. You need to know that at the end of the day, whatever reason this person cut you off or doesn't like you or blocked you, it doesn't matter if they start talking this and that to their thing, start doing things to you. If you are a good person and you haven't done nothing, those Santos are not going to harm you.
Right.
Now, as far as that spirit goes, I really believe that's a whole different realm. It's a different realm. But I still believe it fires back on the people that are sending it. But I still believe the thing is that spirits, like from Palo, it's like a spirit is, in Palo at least, is more like having a German Shepherd. Like, it's gonna go out and bite that person you're sending it to, and it could come back and bite the hell out of you too.
Yeah,
when they realize,
that what you were using them for was not the right thing.
But it's still compared to a Santo. I'm just giving them an example so they know the different like energies. A Santo, that's like your mother. She's not gonna smack you across the face if you didn't mess up or do something big and really bad.
I agree, and I also feel like sometimes the reason why we say don't freak out is because sometimes your padrino's not throwing any brujeria on you or anything like that.
It's you yourself, like, giving you that like bad aura and energy, thinking all that negativity.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's half the saints and like the spiritual realm, but just remember, guys, that your mind is very, very powerful. That's why I like to practice meditation and things like that. Your mind is very powerful and can sometimes make you feel and believe things that are not there, or not. Or they're different perceptions of things, whatever I might think is like happening to me, or what somebody might tell me something and I might take it a certain way, but they didn't even mean it that way, so it's always good to like really analyze the situation. So we established the fact that you analyze the situation, you didn't do anything wrong,
you don't panic.
Like, what are you to do now? Can I reach out to another spiritual leader?
Of course.
Of course you can.
Of course.
Of course you can. Now,
and where else? How else are you going to start again? Because this is not a sign telling you that this religion isn't for you. No. This is just a series of misfortunate events. And it doesn't... Misfortunate events, right? I said that right?
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter who you are, how blessed you are. I swear, believe it or not, it could happen to anybody. And just because, example, like me and my woman,
it's happened to us.
Just because we have a family in Cuba and the religion, this and that, doesn't mean our family in Cuba could come all the way from here. What if we're not able to go there all the time?
Right.
What if just this year we're able to finally go back there?
Mm-hmm.
So
I totally agree.
You understand me? Don't think that it can't happen to Tata Lewis. Don't think that it trust me, believe me, it could happen to anybody. And that's how you learn, because if it hasn't happened to you, you won't know what a scammer or what a fraud looks like or what a shady motherfucker looks like.
Right.
And you know what? Take it as a positive thing as well, because now you have something that you will be able to alert and help others avoid.
Right.
Because although it's happened to all of us, me, everybody, I know we all had early signs that we chose to avoid, because
that's also true.
that's not our fault, because when you believe,
well, because you give like people the benefit of the doubt.
When you
fall, everybody has mistakes.
When you fall in love, you fall in love with all your love and all your heart. When you pour your heart to a religion and your faith, you're falling head over heels. You're not thinking of, oh, who's gonna do me wrong. You're not looking over your shoulder. You're diving in head first with your faith. You understand?
Yeah, exactly. And I think also that honestly, like, it's pretty hard. Like, when you go to the next person, now you could use those tools that you first used. Try to not be so gullible. Try to also, this is another thing that I see a lot wrong when it comes to like religions. When you're going to somebody to get a reading, don't tell them what you're going for the reading for. Do not tell them. I mean, you don't have to be completely closed off. Don't tell me that, because if you completely close yourself off, también, you have to realize it's pretty hard to like penetrate your, you know what I'm saying, unless you're like really a high priestess. I feel like, but don't completely be vulnerable. Look, and give yourself off like, hey, just so you know, I'm coming to a reading because I've been feeling bad in my back and I've been having stomach pains. Now this person sometimes is going to use that vulnerability that you have and is going to fucking smash your ass. Like, come on, man. You know.
Right. Listen, these are the main guideline rules you should follow. Look, all right, so we established you got abandoned by your spiritual mentor. We established you're not scared. You're not fearing anything right now.
You didn't do anything wrong.
Right. You realize you didn't do anything wrong. There's nothing to be scared about or fear, because nothing bad will happen to you.
Now you don't know what to do, and you're in the search for a new spiritual leader.
So now you finally, took in your time. You've gotten over the pain, all of that, and you're ready to be consulted by someone new to see where you could pick up, where you left off. The main guidelines before you move into this, and I'm not saying about how the person should be, I'm just saying things you need to know about the consultation itself. You don't describe or hint any problem you're having. You definitely don't say, hey, I just got abandoned, my Baba. You don't tell them nothing. They don't need to know nothing. They don't say it themselves. They don't need to know it. You don't say nothing. Now, all you need to know is when you get consulted, if they bring up something that is correct, you may speak about it. You may say you need to let them know, yes, that's right, because if you just tell them, I don't know, but they're actually saying something right, let me let you know. Not only that, but you're disrespecting their spirit or their Orisha or however they're consulting, because
you're not giving them
they're
credit.
Getting this knowledge and information from that, and they're trying to confirm it. They're not trying to confirm it to rub their ego. They're trying to confirm it, because I do this too, to see if there is more to investigate on that topic, or is there anything else spirit has to say about it. Because you might tell me yes to something, and then I could ask, all right, I could ask something, that might be very important, that stems from it. Right. But now if you tell me no, and it's something as important as a sexual disease,
right?
Oh, then I'm not gonna keep investigating that topic. My spirit, whatever I'm consulting, is gonna drop that or keep bringing it up until you finally admit it. Which my woman firsthand has literally seen people in front of my face tell me no, and then
you keep
4 minutes later, wait a little bit, get it off their head, and I bring it back up and I keep on. I go, are you sure? And they eventually go, yes. Or they act stupid and they go, huh? Oh, wait, no, yeah. Which is honestly ridiculous. And that's just a really bad start. Because that's the thing. Now you're going to someone new to get consulted. Remember, everyone's not the same. This person might even be more sensitive than your last godparent.
Yeah, and they might think like, oh, okay, so that's
also,
the kind of game you're trying to play.
That's why shit happens to you.
It's a really mental thing, to be honest. You have to have a lot of morals. You have to follow these guidelines the same way that you would like to be treated. You know, I feel like that way. But most of all, like,
all I'm saying is that you don't go into a monk castle or a monk palace and become a monk with shit on your upper lip and I don't know, like whatever monks aren't allowed to have, you know, like high as hell, smelling like I don't know what. You know what I'm saying? Just like you're not gonna come to an ATR practitioner's household, ile, munanso, consultation, and not being correct. You understand?
And so like I don't know. I just feel like it's so crazy that this happens. Like it's an ongoing thing. So now you're going to this new person, or you're in the search of somebody new. As this is happening, also remember to keep your faith.
Yeah,
like
and
said,
also take a breather.
Pray to your spirits.
Yeah, and take a breather. Take it easy. Get consulted. See what spirit or orishas have to say. Yeah, do a limpieza, do this. Take a breather. Take a breather, because if it's really meant for you and things, it will be put in your place. What you mainly have to do is what, baby? What do you do with your guardian angel? Yours is specifically what everyone does. And a main obra that I recommend everybody to do. You don't have to say the exact obra, pero just the simple fact. No, baby. With your guardian angel, Yemaya, what do? You speak to the ocean.
Oh, of course,
You pray to the ocean. If you don't have nothing to pray to, go to the ocean. Write the ocean a love letter. We're not going to go into detail to explain that, because there's a lot of different ways
to do it.
If you want to know my way and the way I like to do it, you can message me or spiritual beings.
Even the esquina de egum, it's such a useful tool. It's so inexpensive.
Right. You don't need a godparent for that.
And it's something that you're connecting with your spirits. You're giving them tribute, and you're holding a space for them. And that's something that, you know, if your godparents fall out, you always have them. You know what I'm saying? You remember that. Just remember that. Even if you don't have your godparents, you still got your things. Your things are not gone. Your spirits didn't run away.
Right.
They're still with you. They're fucking actually rooting you on, like, hey, this is actually the time to be on top of me right now, actually.
Right.
You know, so also another thing that I wanted to point out, like, when these things, like, let's say you get abandoned from your padrino or madrina and things badly start happening to you, remember, it might not be them doing brujeria. Maybe the things that you guys were partaking in together were not completely correct.
Right.
And you really did get scammed, and that's why you also got abandoned, because that person already got what they wanted from you. You know what I'm saying? So it's not always your fault.
So that's a good thing to bring up, the Kina de Egum, because that could follow in the steps. So you get abandoned. This is if you don't have an Ekina. You getting consulted, whether the consulta goes good or not, whether you maybe found someone that you can't think, oh, this person's gonna be my golf. No, just think like this. I'm gonna see how their household in the ile, the munanso, I'm gonna see how they operate. I'm gonna see how they make me feel. Do they have misas? Do they do things? Do they have little events that you could pull up to? Get to know them a little bit more. You understand? Because it's very hard to get to know somebody off just a consultation or one feeding, you know?
And this is another thing that I wanted to point out that came to my head. Just because you were working, let's give an example. You were working with un babalao, and that person did you wrong. Now, don't go around and hate babalaos. Remember that. Don't go around and hate paleros because because they did something wrong to you. No. Remember, these are people that are acting on their own wills. They're not the religion itself. You know what I'm saying?
It's just like lawyer. There's one lawyer that failed your case.
Right.
What, are you gonna think all lawyers are terrible?
There's bad religious people, not a bad religion, and there's a lot of people that are making our religion look bad. But that's why you always have to keep your faith.
Shout out to Mi Religión en Yoruba.
Oh yeah,
shout out,
very great.
Mira, un anuncio, un shout out para Mi Religión en Yoruba, porque ellos de verdad hablan la verdad. They've been doing this. Ellos están haciendo esto que estamos haciendo, este little part, all of this, hasta way better for years.
The OGs, actually.
OGs, ¿me entiende?
Esas personas saben mucha información. Esas son personas que puedes mirar en YouTube. Son unas personas que de verdad saben lo que están hablando. Lo hablan con mucho respeto y te dicen las cosas como son.
H.
No, you don't bash anybody. You know what I'm saying?
There are definitely people that you could look up to and admire, and the work they do in this religion.
And that's another thing. Do your
and how
research.
classy and professional they are and do it.
Right, so
it's
these are
amazing.
tools that you can use, okay? You could put an esquina de egun, which you're connecting with your spirits.
Right,
you're
right. So
look.
So let me go back to what I was saying.
Guardian angel.
Let me go back to what I was saying, because you brought up that thing.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, all right, so you got abandoned, you got consulted, whether the consultation went good or not. Build your Esquina de Egungun.
Right.
Build it. There is a post on my profile. If you can't find it, message me and I'll link you it. There is legitimately must be over 50 or 40 people that have found out how to make the Esquina de Egungun from my instructional tutorial post. And half of those, like let's say 20 of those people don't even know what Santeria is, you understand? These are people that they just found out a way to connect and really invoke in a positive manner all the spirits that should belong with them and are with them.
In their cuadro espiritual, in their, in their square.
Cuadro right.
Espiritual, I don't know how to say that.
Right, ancestors, Egungun, family. I'm not sure if cuadro espiritual, babe, is the same thing as ancestors and egunguns and your defuntos familiares. Cuadro espiritual could be the gypsy. Remember, gypsies are not gonna come out and your teja de egun or none of that. True. Yeah,
it's more you just like the
exactly.
But a bóveda, that come with you.
But a bóveda and all that, that's very important too. But that's like a whole nother thing. A bóveda is a little bit more complicated, because the thing about a bóveda is that you could set up a regular shrine type of altar bóveda with the cups and all of that stuff, and it's all good. Yeah, and it's all good. Right, and it's all good, but a bóveda won't be 100% complete until you do misa investigaciones and find out exactly what type of detail and attention your cuadro eso requires.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. But now with the egungun and the funto and the ancestors, referring to the Esquina, you don't need to know these details.
Exactly.
Because they're there no matter what. You don't need to put nothing special, dedicated. If you know certain things, know certain things, it's things that come out of your heart. It doesn't have to be 100% on point. You understand? Right. So, example, like if you have Congo in your ancestors, in your blood, in your lineage, or maybe an espiritista, that you could put something related to that. You understand? You could put a little Congo drum. That's just a little example. We're not going to get into all the specific details. Exactly, yeah. Food. We're not going to get into all the specific details, because you could message me.
And we'll send you the
post. And that way, like the 50 plus people that I have informed about the Esquina de Egungun, you will be an added addition. So now, boom, you got an Esquina de Egungun and you're on the search for your padrino, your new madrina. No, you're not on a search. Forget about that search. It's going to come to you, because now you have the Esquina de Egungun. Now you work with this, you pray to this, you do obras. And when I say obras, like relax.
Don't kill anything now.
Yeah, like I'm not talking about you're going to do ceremony. I'm talking about like very simple despojos. Like obviously if you're initiated and you're a palero, or you have something like Santo Coronado, I am sure you know a lot of obras that you will be able to incorporate with your Esquina de Egungun. Because you don't have to specifically do things with it, but just the pure fact of doing something in front of it and putting it there for that power of Egungun is good. You understand? Because obviously the only ones that could actually feel like Esquina de Egungun would be an awo, as far as I know. Now there could be certain iles that say that Oriates could feed it, that even paleros could feed it, like how we know of some people. But we're not gonna get into that.
Right, we're not doing that.
You understand?
But basically, get some tools. Get some of these tools. So the Esquina de Egun is one of your tools. If you have a guardian angel and you can go to one of those places that your guardian angel is, present, like for example, Yemaya, the ocean, Ochun, the rivers, go there, pray to them, take them a simple offering, from your heart, and really connect, so have these tools. Do other things. Look at YouTube videos of people like Mi Religión es Yoruba. These people are really knowledgeable.
Also, if you, maybe they're not your mentor, but as long as you have a friend or an associate that has Santo, and they have whoever your guardian angel is, consecrated, like in Osopera, you know, all of that stuff, they have it. Maybe it's not their guardian angel, but they have it. Of course, if they're comfortable enough and they allow you to, with their permission,
at least pray to it.
Sit down in front of it, and obviously not open it, no, nothing crazy, but just pray to it and talk in your inside voice or in your head or talk out loud. If you have a friend that's good-hearted enough to at least let you do that, because not a lot of people let you do that. I know I'm one of the people that I'd be very iffy about letting someone do that, you know?
Right. I mean, I would only be, like, okay with that if it's, like...
If it's coming from a really good heart, it's a good person. Like, yeah, because that's a very personal thing. That's what I'm saying. If you're fortunate enough to have someone like that, they're not your godparent, but, hey, you could still talk to their orishas and they're going to hear you. And if you don't have that, like my wife said, the best next thing, and even it could even be even better than talking. It's the same thing. It could be the same thing as going to the location.
Yeah, remember, guys, whenever you're hija or hijo of a specific orisha, that orisha will listen to you, you know, because you're their hijo and hija. They'll listen to you more than, like, for example, I really believe that if I'm hija de Yemaya and I go to the beach, I'm going to be heard more than if somebody went to the beach and they're not hijo de Yemaya. I mean, Yemaya's still going to protect you. Don't take my words out of context. But I'm just saying, I'm that much closer to her because she's my mother. Like, do you get what I'm saying? I mean, I've heard that before, and I personally believe that. Doesn't mean that Yemaya's not going to listen to you if you go to the beach. Like, that. Don't take my words out of context. But I'm just saying, that's why I'm telling you, go to your specific guardian angel. That's why, you know, it's so important to know your guardian angel because you can work with them more closely. But so you have to make these tools for yourself, and always when this is happening to you, walk with faith. Walk with faith. Guard yourself with faith, man. It's really important to not let your head go down and start having these negative thoughts. Don't let them get to you. Like, seriously.
Right.
So you've came this far. You have to find tools. If you live in a place, this is also another thing that I wanted to point out, because some of the people that actually hit us
also, if you saying that you have to find tools, we just told you that Kina de Gungun. There's videos on my YouTube that literally show you how to do cleansings in front of it and in front of you, you know, things like that.
Right.
And even videos that show you how to give offerings to Egunguns and forests, even if you don't have an Kina de Gungun. Now, you have these little things under your belt. So now when you're getting consulted by other people, or you're, you know, trying to find that mentor, you're letting them know already, hey, I could self-heal myself a little bit. I'm not a complete lost little puppy. And that makes people look at you a little bit different. You understand? That makes people sometimes look at you from a different light. It could be negative, but
it could still be negative.
It could, but 9 out of 10 times they might think like, oh, this person already knows a little bit, or this person already knows a little bit. I'm not gonna hit him with that upper hook of whatever bullshit they were gonna fling at you originally.
Or they might just think like, you're a dumbass, I'm still gonna do shit to you, because it doesn't
right,
really, I mean,
exactly. But still, either way though, letting them know that you already have some tools to self-heal, it's gonna put you in a better position, I feel like.
Yeah, because you don't need them precisely.
Yeah, you're letting them know,
like,
hey,
yeah, I'm gonna find other ways to get out of this
I'm
hole.
still gonna be good no matter what.
And that's why I tell you, it's so powerful to keep your brain positive and to not start thinking like, oh my god, I'm alone. Like, no, you're not alone. Actually, you're not alone. If you believe in this religion, you're not alone. You have your spirits, you have your santos, they're there. Ellos están ahí al lado tuyo. They want you to speak to them now more than ever. I really do believe. And so I don't want to get into too much detail because it's not something that I have to talk about. But I really feel like, for example, like when this happened to me, I went through a stage that I was questioning why, and then I got to a second stage where I was like, it doesn't even matter the why, because you know, at the end of the day, I'm never gonna know the real reason. I'm not gonna know. Why am I gonna keep, like, I have my things, you know, I know who I am. I'm gonna keep moving forward. Now, this is something that I wanted to talk about, because some of the people that contacted us, that contacted me through spiritual beings that wanted to know about this, 2 of these people live in a state where it's not so accessible to them, this religion. They don't have botanicas. They have metaphysical shops and things like that. So we understand how hard it can be to lose your faith. But you need to find other substitutes. You don't have cascarilla in your city? Get an eggshell. Make cascarilla. You understand?
Right.
Make things. Ask questions. Maybe if you see somebody, ask a question. Hey, do you know what I'm saying? Okay, maybe you don't have agua de Florida where you're from, but there has to be another kind of gypsy. I know that there's Pompeii. That's a gypsy that perfume that a lot of people use in the religion as well. Pompeii, you could use that to clean. You don't have to specifically use agua Florida, or look up how to make agua Florida. Be useful. Don't be scared. Learn new things. You understand?
Or just understand that.
Ask somebody if they could ship it to you.
Right, I was about to say that you might need to come to the realization that, for even as messed up as it sounds, but if you don't know how to be spiritual to begin with, like you don't know any knowledge at all, then that means you can't work with what you got, because you're just gonna invent shit. That's another thing. Let's say that really quick. Don't work with what you got if you don't know, because then
do a little research before doing it as well.
Right, and so
ask around.
So what I'm saying is that if you live in a city, a state, a town, anything that is really just dead on spirituality and the religion, including ATRs, then come to the realization that for you to be spiritual and learn this, you just might have to invest in ordering products online and shipment fees and all that stuff. You might have to invest in even maybe paying for someone's services so they could go out to you, or for long distance services. Whatever you gotta do to upgrade your spirituality and learn, you just have to realize that you might have to go down that path. Maybe it's not everyone's like what they envision, that they would start their spiritual journey with an online mentor or a mentor through long distance, but this is a new day and age, and that's a very big thing. That's a very big thing, which is, it makes it even scarier trying to find a mentor like that. But you gotta find it how you gotta however you live it, you gotta get it how you live it. You gotta find it. Just find it. Even if you gotta switch towns, like, I don't know, if it means that much to do, then do it. All I know is that it's possible. It's very possible. No matter where you live, it's very possible.
I also think that when you're reaching out for a spiritual leader or guidance, remember who you are, in the sense that, just remember that everybody that comes into this religion is not meant to do the same thing. We're not all meant to do readings, okay? Right. We're not all meant to be like the shaman type person. Some of us come into this religion because of health. Some of us come into this religion because, there's so many reasons why you could come into this religion, but they don't all have to mean that because you're in this religion, you're gonna be this reader and you're gonna be this espiritista. No.
Right, that's exactly why in Ocha, just as well as in Palo, there is literally something for everybody. There is somebody that could cook. There is somebody that does most of the singing. There is somebody that plays the drums. There is somebody that literally is the one and there is somebody that literally is the one that cleans the floor. That they literally are the woman or the man, because it could be a man or a woman, doesn't matter. We're talking about Palo and Nocha, so I'm not really just referring to APTP work or nothing like that. That cleans the blood off the floor when everybody is said and gone. That's gonna go to the prendas and clean everything off, all the leftover
There's
stuff.
There's people that kill the animals.
There's people that kill the animals. There's people that take the feathers off. Like I said, cook. There's people that dedicate themselves, that all they do is rapal cabeza, cut the hair during the santo. Or I'm not gonna say more, certain things, but do certain paintings only.
There's people that are only for airways, that are only contacted for airways, because they know their things about plants.
Right, exactly. There's even people that just dedicate to consulting, but they will barely do trabajos themselves.
How do you find these things? it goes with time.
Right.
Some people have a gift and they're so lucky that they can revive that gift really easily. But for others, it takes time. Don't feel discouraged because of how long it might take you. You understand?
Right.
Maybe the religion is not for you to help the public, but it's to help yourself.
Exactly.
And that's something that you also have to take into consideration.
Like, stop trying to save the world before you save yourself.
That's something that Orula says, actually. It's
right.
something in Ifa. Now, there's something else that we have to touch base here. And I want to say, and I'm going to read it right from the message. Somebody said, I guess the discussion I'd like to hear is how does one achieve this? If where I live it's almost impossible to find any other practitioners. So we did talk and anyone who could truly guide me. But then the person goes on to say, I fully understand the commitment I would be making sure it's the right step and finding a godmother or godfather that will be with me for the long run. So it's hard to know if that person will be with you in the long run or not because like we said, people change. And one day you didn't do nothing wrong and the person just doesn't want to fuck with you anymore. They don't see a purpose in you, or they're just bad-hearted from the beginning. So to me, I never feel like you could secure whether that person is going to be good or not. That's why you have to make these tools for yourself. But going back to how committed you have to be to this religion. This religion is high maintenance. I mean, you have to be on top of it. I don't believe that you can drop the ball. The minute you start dropping the ball, a lot of things could happen. You understand? And that's another reason why things could be going wrong for you. You need to continue with your faith. You can't just be like, oh yeah, I got Santo now. I'm never going to do anything with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to continue being committed with them. It is a high maintenance religion. I believe so. I really do believe so. Right,
it is. I mean, there is somebody that I could just remember off the top of my head because this was recent. I had... they received a certain thing from me, and I instructed them that they would have to attend this every Monday, and they literally stopped. Everything was going good for them. It was giving the results back. Everything was really good, and then they literally stopped attending it for 2 months. And this person is clinically depressed, so that's actually like there's no valid excuse to not attend your spirituality, but you could like have some sympathy for someone who is clinically depressed because that's I'm not clinically depressed, so I wouldn't know how that is, but I bet that is very intense, and I believe that being clinically depressed could really keep you on your bed all day and not want you to even touch your spirituality. It's gonna be a big battle. But point is, it's like you didn't attend your thing for 2 months. What did you think was gonna happen in your life?
Right.
Well, like, why did you think you attended it? Things go good, and then that's it. You stop. It's not how it works.
Exactly. I really feel like you can't let go of the ball, man. You really can't. You need to stay committed, and like when all these things are happening to you, that's something that the Santos are looking at. There's actually times that, look, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, there's times that I've gotten consulted, and it's told me, you can never think that we're not real. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, wasn't there a time that I got consulted that it literally told me like, don't forget, or like, don't lose your faith, or whatever it was?
What it was, it said that. What it said was that. How do you call this? It was that whatever happens to you, because of people, to not blame it on the saints,
Santos, right?
Because it's not their fault, and they want you to know that has nothing to do. Whatever's happening to you, it has nothing to do with them.
I've had those moments before. Where I've lost the faith, and then I regain it back because I realized that it's not the Santos' fault. In fact, it might be them giving you a test. Right. And I feel like after you get Santo crowned, and you actually start getting into the religion, you really do get tested. A lot of people
that makes me want to like rewind. So how do you know when you're getting abandoned, or when this is happening for a reason? Or it's happening for a reason, like the saints or the spirits are taking this person out of your road.
Life.
They literally got into this person and made them either show their true colors to you, by doing something very shady, like
Right.
doing a ceremony and stop talking to you. That's shady
Right.
enough with itself. Anybody who takes your money, does a ceremony to you, and then just stops talking to you out of nowhere, that's shady ass shit.
And it's something that we talked about actually today, and we came to the realization today. We were like, you know what? What happened to me, I'm speaking about myself. What happened to me, I really feel like it was something for us to open up our eyes. It wasn't about them. It was about me.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So really analyze the situation. Really analyze everything. Sometimes the Santos are taking those people out of your life. They're making them show their true colors. You know how people talk about the retrograde and like how all these things are happening and they got out of your life and all this stuff? Take that into consideration. God, the Santos, the Eguns, they do this to us. Whether it's a retrograde or not, people, it happens.
No, but honestly, look.
Now we're
Honestly,
let's
talk about that. Let's talk about that. Honestly, that I don't know. I don't know much about. I don't know much about all that stuff, but I think that last Mercury retrograde.
Yeah.
I honestly believe it. I think like because that's like when all this, that stuff you said that happened to you, all that was taken off, right? The thing that you said though about your experience that happened to you.
With my
yeah,
writer?
yeah,
I
exactly.
mean, I think the retrograde started like I got abandoned way before the retrograde,
Oh, okay.
but
Alright, but whatever. Last recent retrograde,
right.
didn't you feel like things were out of whack? Things were kind of out of tune. Things were kind of like a little wacky.
I mean, if we're gonna get into
it.
Astrology, it's
at
a little
least,
bit confusing because I'll say this.
I felt it.
I feel like, look, we're gonna get a little bit into astrology, but from what I know, look, I have Mercury retrograde actually in my birth chart.
Right.
So to me, Mercury retrograde is something that is in my birth chart, but people don't know how to interpret Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde doesn't precisely have to be bad. That's why I don't want to get into this topic because I don't want to go there.
I'm not saying that things were super bad. It could be good.
I do believe that Mercury retrograde.
Good. I just feel like it was definitely an intense little chapter.
But isn't this funny though? Mercury retrograde has to do a lot with like technology being out of whack and like miscommunications. And isn't that a thing for me? I mean, look, man, if you ask my boyfriend, like my husband,
yeah, that's true.
Technology gets in my hands, and I swear, I mean, it just goes out of whack. And I'm telling you, I have Mercury retrograde. I'm a Sarah Connor, yeah. I have Mercury retrograde in my natal chart, so it's something that I deal with every day. But when Mercury retrograde is happening, I don't feel like that crazy effect. And when you have it in your natal chart, it also means that you're actually more careful. And I don't want to get too much into it, but it doesn't precisely have to be a bad thing. That's why I don't look at things for a bad, like, I don't start with that energy, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think, oh my god, let's get ready for the Mercury retrograde. Like, remember guys, things are gonna be out of whack.
No,
like,
I didn't give a crap.
I don't prepare like that, man. I just go my day. Like, bruh, I don't do that. I don't believe like that.
I'm just saying though, but at least for me, in my personal experience, I felt like things were definitely like out of whack. Like, not things in general, not things. I don't even mean just the internet. I mean like people.
It's like what you mean, because
like what happened to their brain signals. Yeah, like what happened to their brain. Like they just acted like someone I've never seen them act like. And not just that one person that we know. I'm talking about like a lot of different other people. And also some people for the good. Right. Like I feel like my father was acting like very different. My mom.
Right.
Like every in a good positive way. Like I
could agree. I could agree with that. But I also think that when people put a lot of energy into those things, they're like, oh wait, we have an excuse to be like dumb and retarded because there's a Mercury retrograde actually. That, yeah. So no, like, whatever. I don't even want to get into astrology. It's not what this is going. Right. But look,
maybe even our birds, like our pet birds, were acting a little bit like different. Yeah.
But look, guys, I just want to tell you guys, like, it's personally happened to us with not even like it's happened to us that we've gotten abandoned, so called. But like today, like how I told you guys, like it actually happened today in the shower. We were like, wait a second, hey, in fact, they took him out of our life because, man, what's gonna happen now is so much more powerful. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? Listen, you know what's crazy?
It's crazy.
You know what's crazy? We know this person that's bringing these big blessings to our life, what their preferences are.
Right.
And we know if that other person was still around, they would do everything they can in their power and tongue to convince us that this person here is wrong and everything's gonna go bad just to get us away from that. And I really believe, and I'm very thankful that that didn't happen to us. And I'm very thankful that they took out the wrong person in our life.
Oh my God, something just came to my brain.
What?
But guys, remember, when you get initiated into, for at least kofa, or for kofa for women and mano de orula for men, iwafaka, what is it called? Iwafaka?
Awafaka, yeah.
Awafaka is for men,
Awafaka.
and kofa is for women. When you get initiated, like, the first thing is you get your mano de orula. Remember, there's other babalaos that are there. You have your main padrino, but they always tell you, like, hey guys, just so you know, these are the other babalaos that have been working in your mano de orula, and you could also reach out to them if your padrino is ever unreachable, or if they're out of state, or whatever. So that's another tool that you could use too. Now, if you know that those people are buddy, and there's like the same energy coming from both of them, okay, then maybe you could steer a little bit left from that. But if you know that other person maybe doesn't even know about what happened with your padrino and you, reach out to them. You could also use them as your guidance.
Right. Exactly.
So, I mean, it's crazy. Like, I'm really glad that you guys stuck through this long. It's to be honest, it's a really extensive topic, but generally, the key points that I would say is realize what happened. Really analyze the situation, all right? That's one thing.
And count your blessings. Count your blessings, because, first of all, there's a lot of people out there and elsewhere that I'm sure it ended up way worse for them.
Yes.
I'm sure they invested 10K plus money.
There's people that are really
I'm sure they invested their life savings, their whatever their house costs. You never know the horror stories that they're out there.
There's horror stories.
So count your blessings. Count your blessings. Let yourself know, hey, there's still something out there, because it didn't want to let that person, he or she, continue this bullshit with me. Because anything that exits your life out and you really didn't do anything bad at all, everything is good.
It doesn't precisely have to be bad.
Believe me, it's better off that way. It's better off that way.
It is a blessing. I mean, it's happened to me even with people
and
not
also
spiritual leaders.
And also sometimes, hey, you just gotta think about it like this. That's up to the point that those people were able to help you. It doesn't really have to make that person a super shitty fake scammer. No, maybe they're super legit, but that's it. At least with you, they're done helping, man.
They're done.
And they're done. And it still makes them a shady character, though, but it doesn't make them a scammer or a fraud. Right. It still, like, shows that they break code of ethics, because as priests, you don't do things like that. Or a priestess. But, hey, man, that's it. They moved on. Be mature. Be humble. That's what spirituality is about. Evolving, growing. Learn to forgive and forget and move on. And don't let that stress weigh on your brain. The whys, the if, the huh, the blah, the blah, the blah. You know what I mean?
I second that. I really do.
Exactly. Yeah. So we're about to hit the hour mark.
And I just want to let you guys know, if you want anything in specific to be spoken about, reach out to us. I think we have a couple ideas for the next podcast. But if there's anything in specific you wanted to talk about from what you heard today, let us know. Don't give us any weird ideas, man. We're not going to talk about certain things that we don't have the right to talk about. I mean, we're not going to talk about specific santo things or things like that. Like, we're not santo.
Right.
We don't have ocha. We don't have regla de ocha like coronado. So we're not going to talk about certain topics. We're going to talk about what we know and our experiences. And the reason why we're talking about this is because it has firsthand happened to us. And this isn't the first time. Remember the Casa de Palo también?
The what? Yeah, I know.
So, like I said, and look at where we are. People tell us, oh, we're blessed, this and that. But just remember that through the blessings,
been through the mud.
We've been through bad shit, man.
And
we've never lost our faith. And that's why we're so blessed, I believe.
If you ever look at yourself and think, oh, how is this guy so young, know how this, it's because I've been through so much shit in mud. that like it has honestly made me who I am, and
Everybody's
it's taught
different.
me so
Everybody
much.
goes through different things, and a lot of times people forget, like, hey, maybe right now everything looks perfect, but you don't know what has happened to, like,
I've
before.
also
what I'm saying?
whether they're evil, good, shady or not, I know, however the stuff that has happened with them, I've brushed shoulders with a lot of powerful brujos y babalaos.
Yeah.
And that's why I know the things that I know. However the things might have turned out in the end doesn't take the fact that people from the bottom of the house, whether they were misguided, lost, evil as hell, they still had the ache to do the evil, fucked up shit in the end of the day.
I would say evil. Definitely evil. That's something I really
what I mean?
want to get into.
And when
look,
people like that initiate you, either way, you just gotta remember, hey, the person who initiated you, if they're powerful and they have a chance, they know what they're doing, or the thing runs and works for them, at least you're still getting initiated by some powerful hands, you know?
Like my padrino, for in fact. Yeah, we're not talking, but my padrino did my things correctly. We might have had a fallout, but I really believe that it's for the best of my, like, you know, for my things. Like, I really didn't do anything. Right. And I just want to say, like, another thing, like, you could do whatever you want for these people. I've had, like, the house, like the Palo house.
Right.
Man, I even missed out of work to help these people move. Like, that's how giving I am sometimes. You know, like, when I really love somebody, like, I really fuck with you. Man, these people, they're just pure evil, man. But you know what? I'm still here, bro.
We're still very blessed. And then
I'm
when
still
you
here.
when
Like,
you look
the
back
real
at
will
these
always
people,
prevail. I said this. The real will always prevail, man.
Definitely.
They will.
We're still standing.
And we're gonna continue to stand.
Right. Honestly, not to be like that person, and it's funny because I've heard a lot of people and like mayores and like shit talkers, say this certain line, say this certain line, but they say it in Spanish, but I'm gonna say it in English. That out of anybody that goes against us, and it's including when it's something very personal and someone that like is personal with us, in the end, I only see me and my wife still standing and prevailing and avanzando. And then when I look back at where are those people, oh buddy, they're long gone.
Man, we've even seen them on Florida arrest. Get the fuck out of here, bro.
They're long gone, out of the picture.
Get the fuck out of
Come
here,
on, man.
I even had somebody tell me, un babalao tell me, oh, you get with him? Forget it. You're gonna be dead and in jail. Mind you, this person doesn't even know what the fuck
50 years
they're doing.
later.
50 years
SpongeBob,
later.
SpongeBob voice.
I mean, man, you gotta know what you're talking about. Don't talk without any basis. Like, seriously.
Right.
Look, and don't wish any hate upon people. Like, let it be whatever it is. If they're really gonna get into jail and all this stuff, that's fine. But you, as a religious priest, you shouldn't talk down or on any of those nasty things.
But for example, the person
people.
that said that, why are they still in their parents' house? Why haven't they advanced something? Why aren't they nothing? Why are they still in the same situation? Not saying that if you live at your parents' house, it's not a bad thing. I mean, to each his own. Everybody has a different. Everybody has a different life. Right. Everybody has different cases. Everybody has a different situation. What we're talking about is
the way that this person portrays themselves and they live.
But listen, don't act. Listen, this is what I'm gonna say. Don't act like a king if you're still the middle child in your mother's house in a little ass bedroom and not even have one single thing to your name.
Right, and
stop acting like
and
the
you
mayor.
Ridicule people and like you act like you're better than them. I mean, don't do that. Don't do that.
Right.
And also another thing that I want to tell people is like me, I'm never scared about what the next person has more than me. Like, you could have Santo, you could have whatever, but guess what? If I'm in the right, I'm in the right, man. I'm in the right. And I know that in the end, I'm always going to be like, you get what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to be fine. I'm going to be fine. And you have to tell yourself that. You have to remember that. And with this, we're going to close this podcast. Like we said, we really hope that you enjoyed it. And if you have any suggestions or anything that you want us to talk about, let us know, guys. Let us know. We're here. And if not, I think we have a couple of topics. I mean, we have a lot of things to talk about.
Right.
We really appreciate you guys for coming onto our page and listening. And we hope that you have a great rest of your weekend and week and life.
Mm-hmm. Right. So, with that being said, We're wrapping up this podcast. Salam alaikum, alaikum salam.